And so I should like to congratulate the planners for putting this together. And I had to be here, my wife and I. It'll take me at least about 3 months to reflect on Brother Ozzy. But I'll have to cut it down to a couple of minutes. And anything else you want to know about Brother Ozzy, you can contact me at a later date. I met Oswald Pinder July of 1967. Those days, Evangelistic Center was the mecca for revival, but indeed the youth with the truth. Let me see the hands of those who remember the youth with the truth. Many of you weren't born yet. And so I can remember it was a Wednesday night and a revival was taking place, and I went to the center, and of course it was such a grand occasion. It was for that whole week. And I was invited to the center by Lillian Lynch and Valerie Lynch. And then I met Brother Pinder, and the rest of that aspect of his history. Brother Pinder is a unique gentleman. Unique because I have never met a praying man like Brother Pinder. As a matter of fact, we should really rename him Daniel. Because the only fellow biblically who prayed more than Brother Pinder is Daniel. And I caught a piece of the reflection by some of the speakers, and they talked about the bus and some other things that Brother Ozzy was famous for. But one of the most unique things about Brother Pinder was he was a matcher. What do I mean by that? Brother Pinder, for an example, if a young fella is in the center and a young girl gets saved today, and today is Sunday, by Wednesday, if he doesn't have a girlfriend, he has a girlfriend. And he made some very, very good matches. Very good matches. And I'll be presumptuous to say, Brother Pinder perhaps put together over 100 or so people who are now family. The thing about it, he tried, I am his best friend, and he tried with me. But I was able to get out of that loose. I got out of the loose, and everybody remember Mary. Is the bunny that you remember Mary? I got out of the loose. And then I ended up bringing a Baptist girl to the center. Well, of course, Brother Ozzy knew. And our relationship continued to build. And then, it must have been in the early 70s or so, he met my good friend. He calls her Nellie. I call her Melly. And of course, his whole life changed because everything was Nelly. And if you wanted to find him, you only need to go through Kwaku Street or Church. Church, Kwaku Street. And that's the way it was. And then of course, I got married in 1971. And I think Brother Pinder got married in 71. Am I right? And then our relationship continued. And then I can remember, as far as the family aspect of it, Brother Pinder and I remember revival services. When you look up to the altar, he had two, I had two. Okay? And we used to, church those days, church used to be late. But we had a thing where all of the children were put to bed at the altar. And of course, every time I had a child, Brother Ozzy had a child. And of course, he has 4, and I have 4. And so we even everything out. And then I could never forget. We went to a revival in Jamaica, and he had his wife picture. I had my wife picture. And what a fantastic occasion that was. I think Sister Kelly would remember that. And he wouldn't go to bed except Sister Mellie's picture was under the bed, and likewise myself. Brother Ozzy is a serious lover. Serious lover. Very unassuming. But tonight, I am so delighted because Brother Ozzy, that's the social aspect of it. He is a spiritual leader par excellence. And I've never seen anybody with more energy than Oswald Pinder. I heard a brother talk from Sanders before. Listen, he'll wake you to death. And although he's getting there, he still believes that he is young and vibrant. He walks fast, he moves fast, and of course, he gets involved in everything that is necessary for the growth and the development of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And I can go on and on. But, no, like I say, you can contact me later on. I told my wife many years ago, if I get sick, whenever, I want Brother Pinder to come before the doctor comes. And I'll share this with you. I got sick in 2000. And one day Brother Pinder and Pastor Tyrone came to see me. And they began to pray. And I'll never forget that. My mommy was there. And it was almost like a revival breaking out. Noises came from all over. And you got to be quiet in the hospital, but boy, Brother Pinder and Brother Ty hook up. Well, I'll tell you, the next 2 days I was out the hospital. That's the power of prayer. That's the power of prayer. And of course, I wish Brother Pinder a longer life. Okay? And I am so delighted that you saw fit to honor him tonight. And he is indeed. I went all over the world, all over the Bahamas. But Oswald Pinder is my best friend. I salute you, Ozzy, and I salute you, my good friend Nelly. And so, let's do a toast to Brother Ozzy. You don't have to stand, but just raise your glasses and say, Brother Ozzy. And now Daniel. God bless you.